Well, if it isn't Hugh Jass. Yeah, that's right. Well, if it isn't Phil McCracken Gailey. I'm just doing this fine evening. Little late here, I apologize. But I had to help out Gramps. We're good boys over here. As such, this will be a quick one. We're in and out. We're doing what needs to be done. Delivering the news, just the facts, ma'am. And then jettisoning it out so that you can continue to enjoy our Friday night. In Helldiver news, President Super Earth has been killed in action. I'm sorry to say. President of Super Earth has been killed in action by the Illuminate during the fall of Prosperity City. The president died heroically, defending the presidential security bunker with only a pistol against waves of Illuminate forces. Presidential authority has been placed in the hands of the Ministry of Defense. Never forget. Aside from that, the Illuminate scum have been pushed back to their no doubt disgusting homeworlds after 2 cities remain. People got mad on the internet because they thought it was like a capture mission. It wasn't. It was a defend. So that's why the number was always going down. I believe Super China. What's Super China called in Helldivers? Like freedom on the sea or something. Freedom of the sea or something like that. They successfully defended. Oh, equality on the sea. That's right. Okay, pardon me. Equality on sea. They defended Super China Mega City. And someone else, I don't know who the other one was. New York? I think New York went. Giga York or whatever they're going to call it in the game. I think that one died. York Supreme, that's right. I'm going to talk about the new General's Handbook, yeah. The entire thing's spoiled. I won't be going over that. That's a big Monday show. Supposedly the whole ass GHB spoiled, from what I heard. And so I got to look at that first. Ahem. Pardon me. I got to look at that first, and then prepare a little bit. And then we'll do that for a big Monday, if that's all right. The final York has fallen. A new president of Super Earth was sworn in after a landslide victory in a managed election. You know, that's always nice to see. Because a landslide victory, I mean, that means the people are really behind him, right? So I appreciate that. I don't know if you voted, but I did. Well, I threw my lot in with the auto voters, right? But they do good work. They pick good ones. And of course, we have a funny picture. Helldivers do make some of the better memes. This classic wartime photo back from the beaches. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. Where were we? Probably like right there somewhere. Your voting machine did it for you? Well, of course, yeah. It's managed democracy. You gotta manage it. We saw what happened when we left it up to pure democracy, and that's how you get NIMBYs. Such an ominous title for this one. I mean, it's just, I guess you could read it that way. I didn't intend it to be read that way, but, yeah. It just means we're at the end of the new news every day month. Is it already been a month? Can you believe it? Anyway, I'm about ready to jump in. I gotta... Jeez. I mean, you guys probably know. You guys probably know what it's like. You're not even hermits, probably, some of you, right? I gotta wake up tomorrow morning and leave the house. Absolutely disgusting. And then next week, Thursday, I gotta fly to New York. So I might die on account of planes and New York City and then planes back and stuff. Which is unfortunate. I feel like I have more to do here. But, you know, it can't be helped. I gotta go. But then I should be good for leaving the house for the next 6 months, at least, which is nice. So anyway, if news of my death comes out due to plane crash next week, just know that I was not at peace. And I was really upset about it. Dying, that is. Really isn't part of my plan. Yeah, I'm flying to York Supreme. Got to get the first-hand reports from the ruins of the Illuminate scum. The non-voters. Sick for a week and a half following the trip despite tips on not. I don't know, man. I wasn't sick after Adepticon. My Discord strats are pretty strong. A reasonable amount of social distance from the crowds. Wash your hands 12, 13 times a day. Pretty nice, you know. It worked out in Adepticon. You gotta wash your hands an amount of times per day that make you seem crazy. That's the trick. How many times? Not really about a particular number. It's about what you do, you know. Open a door knob with your hand, touch a railing, especially an escalator, something like that. Wash your hands. About to eat, wash your hands. After you eat, wash your hands. Play Magic for more than one, maybe every Magic game, if it's Commander, you know, an hour or something. Wash your hands after that. When everyone thinks you're kind of a little crazy, that's probably the right amount. 2 up D3 survived the plane flight. Yeah, pretty much. You know, they fired a lot of people with seemingly no deference to anything. They just fired like a giant percent of people. A bunch of them were air traffic controllers. I don't know if they were all good at their job or bad at their job, but they probably hit both ends of it. So, you know, who knows? Maybe there's a helicopter somewhere. But I hope not. I got more to do here. 4th edition is finally looking kind of nice. I'm excited about this GHB stuff. After the Great Flavor Purge, they gave every army 2 pages of new fun rules, except for like 6 of them. The poor bastards. But, you know, it's kind of picking up. I mean, it is true that AI has, with the new Google AI, it's starting to get just about good enough to replace exactly what I do for a living, right, forever. So that's auspicious. But that just means I go full-time into content. You know, make YouTube videos once every 2 weeks again. Stuff like that. Oh, speaking of, I got a message on my sponsorship tab of Twitch. And I don't know if the sponsorship tab was listening to my conversations. Probably is, just like your phone, everything else, right? We were talking in Discord about like, eating healthy and preparing meals and stuff like that. And I got it in my head. I'm going to look up one of those places that sends you healthy meals that are just done and you just heat them up or something. I'm going to look into that. Right? And then lo and behold, on my sponsorship thing, a company that does exactly that has a sponsorship opportunity that I can click on within the Twitch integrated shell and sign up to. And so I'm like, oh shit, maybe I can scam one of these companies into thinking that, you know, it's worth paying me to advertise something that I was almost maybe going to buy, but they'll give it to me for free, plus $50 per person or whatever the fuck, I don't know the deal, but whatever the deal is. Wouldn't that be the ultimate gamer move scam? I probably shouldn't publicly be calling it a scam or implying that I'm trying to scam them, although from my perspective I am. But plus I heard, I don't know, maybe they're expensive or something. They probably are because they send you a bunch of food, but anyway, so I might try to get a membership to it for free and then hawk their shit. So if anyone was thinking about doing that, don't do it yet. I didn't officially sign up to it, I just saw it and I'm like, damn, wouldn't that be the ultimate scheme? That'd be sick. Anyway, I'll look into it more after I get back from New York. And I might sign up, and then everybody who was talking about maybe wanting to do that in Discord, maybe you get a discount code. Type in, use code BIGNATURALS, HeyWoah, for $10 off. I don't want to leave my house.com/microwave healthy food. I don't know. We'll see. It's like a week and a half out. You can push off being healthy for another week and a half. Trust me. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. The universe summoned it to me. Anyway, IU Stein thinks the Prime 31. Just got your master's degree. Still haven't finished painting, but you're still turning into that HeyWoah. Regardless. Hey, all right. Congratulations on a master's degree. That's something I don't have. I'm a mere bachelor. That's it. I have a lowly Bachelor of Fine Arts. No master's degree here. So I'm told it's hard and you have to do a dissertation that gets accepted or not or something like that. I'm not sure about it. But I'm told it's difficult, so congratulations. Adepticon strat was successful. You got sicker at Dragonfall, which has 10% of the crowd. Yeah, see? You gotta know. You gotta be a knower. It's that hands and faces stuff. And just consider things that everyone touches. And just wash your hands right after it. To maybe an unnerving amount, but I'm not trying to get the slime, you know? Flat approved, big consumed. Good job, King. Yeah, the Ogre player is scamming free food. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see. It popped up in my thing, so probably I'm pre-approved or something, because I could have just clicked on it. But considering I'm gonna be gone for a week or something, half a week, then I figure I'll just do it when I come back. And so spread the word. If anyone was going to sign up for that, fucking don't. Save $2 on code BIGNATURALS HeyWoah or whatever. We'll see what kind of thing they can cook up. And maybe the place is good and I keep using it. I mean, let's be honest. It's gonna have to be pretty good for me to suddenly decide to start paying for it. Because I believe they sign you up for free if you're like a content creator. Which is a great scam. I love that. Maybe, oh, I know. I'll do that one, and then when their free shit runs out, I'll just advertise for one of their direct competitors. Get their month for free, and all the people I got to sign up will let theirs lapse and then use my code to continue the discount except to just some other place. And maybe there's like 5 or 6 companies like this. We can do half a year maybe of me infinite free food and you guys, whatever, 10% off continuous, you know, past the introductory period. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to apply some gamer maneuvers to it. Because that's what you should do as a consumer. You're on that side of it. And I am straddling halfway between each. Anyway, Tory Kicker 7, thanks for the tier 1 for 54 months. The streak must go on. Hell yeah. Yeah, we got to min-max the subscriptions. You know, I'm on your side. I'm in it for you. To help me be in it better. But also you. As long as we're all upfront about it. Plus, that's a decent, you know, percent, whatever the percent discount is. I don't know, 10, maybe 20. I'll have to see. But I'll factor that into the cut. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the news. Hey. Sorry for being late, but I had shit to do. Ahem. Pardon the sneeze. HeyWoah DPing the market, a true beacon of capitalism. If they're gonna do it, you are supposed to. Yeah. It just wouldn't be right if one side had all the power. You gotta have power on either side so you can do a tug of rope forever, okay? That's why unions are very good. Even though unions are fucking bullshit when you're running stuff. And they're basically fighting to do no work at all and steal as much money from you as possible from the company's perspective. And all that's true. But you're a company. So fuck you, you do that too. You need bullshit power on both ends. Otherwise it's tyranny. That's what I say. Fuck these deals, I'm already eating. Don't worry about it. Anyway, let's blast this news. TY for the chats. Top story tonight. Scourge Guy ran. The Lords of Death attempt to conquer the realm of life. Rise up, undying minion, and claim what is rightfully yours. New rules for the Soulblight G-Lords. Harfant Alex of New Lamia shares his wisdom on these recent necromantic occurrences. Oh, word? Should I click to learn more? I'm gonna give this one more. No, nope. A nice website. Anyway, the Soulblight have been granted 2 new battle formations that couldn't be more different. Skin Shifters enable one of your vampires to transform into a bat, wolf, snake, or any other monstrous form and flee it over, under, and through terrain as if it weren't there. Crypt Masters, on the other hand, involves no movement whatsoever, focusing instead on fortifying a cursed sepulture with deadly wards. On top of this, there are 3 new heroic traits for you to sink your teeth into. Immortal Ego gives your chosen hero the skills to match their towering arrogance, while Frightening Vitality ensures they'll stay standing long after they should be dead. There's a Wastrel and Vagabond, which doesn't make Undead Hero any better, it just makes their minions dangerously faster. Well, that does make the hero better. Okay. Get that through your sick. What of this faction's Scourge a Guy ran War Scrolls, plural? The first is the Corpse card, again. Despite its ramshackle appearance, now hits more reliably. We don't care. Give it back the Lodestone, okay? Give it back the +1 to cast Lodestone. That's why anyone ever took it. Anyway, more importantly, it invigorates nearby Dadwalker zombies, making them lash out more ferociously on death. The other new... jeez. The other new War Scroll is for Sekhar Fang of New Lamia, who can now extend her hypnotic influence across the battlefield, persuading players to buy her despite being bad. I mean, persuading enemy units to ignore commands, causing wizards to fail spells, and forcing enemy heroes to turn their blades on their allies. 80-point Corpse Cart, 220-point Sekhar. And so the end is here. It's been a long, eventful, and sometimes entertaining journey, but we finally made it to the pre-order date for the General's Handbook 2526. Join us tomorrow for a wrap-up, and make sure you're back on Saturday to pre-order your copy and start taking full advantage of the new Scourge of Ghyran updates in the summer's Season of War. And this is one of those long pre-orders, okay? So it's not like next week it's coming out or something like that. Anyway, good shit, nice website. What do we got here? Enhance. Good thing I got some Soulblight players in the chat so that I can ask somebody what the fuck any of this stuff means. All right. You literally didn't even read its weapon profile? Why would you? I didn't read the weapon profile on the new Iron Blaster. It's an artillery piece. I don't care what its weapon profile is. It's a foot hero with, why do I care what its weapon profile is? That's not your job. Sekhar was one of the few infantry heroes that was plausibly okay and did not need a new scroll. Well, that's too bad, because it got one. We'll see. Crypt Master. Actually, wait, Soulblight book comes out soon or came out already? Help me with my temporal aperture here. It's already out? Okay, so I won't bring it up. The one on my computer then is old and doesn't matter. I was going to look at their sub-factions, but anyway. Tales from the Crypt Masters. Once per turn army, your hero phase, Unhallowed Cite. Pick a friendly Cursed Sepultura to be the target. Target has Ward 4 up till the start of your next turn. Cursed Sepultura is one of your terrain features, right? Is that true? I don't know why you would ever want to waste a sub-faction protecting your terrain feature. It'll die. It'll die anyway. Unless your terrain feature is so different from everybody else's terrain feature that it has like 30 wounds or something, nobody cares. Trash. I don't even play the army and I can say that this is trash. The Speed of Death. Once per turn army or hero phase, pick a friendly infantry vampire hero to be the target. Can move up to 12 and has fly. It cannot end the move in combat. That used to be an option on the Things War scroll. I see you now pay a cost for it. Infantry vampire hero, move 12 and fly so you can keep up with something fast. To continue to buff them after turn 1 seems very narrow. I recall there being a sub-faction in vampires. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's something like if you're out of combat, +1 to cast. And if you're in combat, +1 to wound or something. So that still seems like the best shit ever. And great. Vamplord still has a teleport. Oh, well then what do you need this thing for? Okay, bad. Got it. Heroic traits. Undying Tyrant. Frightening Vitality. Each time an ability that heals at least one of this unit's damage points is resolved, if the total number of damage points healed by that ability was less than 3, heal X, where X is 3 minus that trash. Immortal Ego. Each phase you can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, and 1 save for this unit. Trash. A Wastrel and a Vagabond. While a friendly Deadwalker Zombies or Death Rattle Skeletons unit is wholly 12, add 2 to run rolls for that unit. Add 3 to the distance the unit can move when it piles in. It's okay. Actually, you know, piling distance normally isn't much of a big deal, to be honest. But in a giant blob of guys, maybe it is. 2 to run rolls. If you're playing zombies, they're probably just running every turn anyway, so it's a little... Yeah, this one, clearly, if you're trying to play skeleton zombie stuff, this one's just moves them places faster, you know. That's good. These two, horrific. So bad. Anyway, good shit. 1 out of 5 for the first 5 ain't bad, I guess. Well, it is, but grading on a curve. No, on a curve, the GHB stuff has been pretty good. On a curve, this is also bad. Hey, all right. Speaking of a curve, remember I said we were going to do a big tier list of all of these and talk through them all? Well, that's not today. I don't have it ready. SJ was maybe going to do it. I think he's out of town. So, more likely Monday. Possibly Monday. Oh, if you charged +1 the wound. Okay, okay. Read the first flavor line of Wastrel. I will. This spiteful creature is an embarrassment to their undead peers. Perhaps a vampire fallen from favor, a wight who failed in their duty to their king, or a necromancer who pushed their luck one too many times. Regardless of the reason, they seem to have an affinity with the basest undead minions. With the based undead minions? Anyway, good shit. Your hero is an embarrassment. Let's see, Sekhar. Fang of New Lamia, 6636. Technically attacks. It's actually a lot of attacks. I just don't care. Because it's move 6. Once per turn reaction, opponent declared a command for a visible enemy with an 18. 18 is pretty big. So, once per turn reaction to a command with an 18, it's actually a big radius. You do get to use this ability pretty decently, I think. Ahem. Roll die on a 5 up, the command has no effect. Okay. So very unlikely to work, but once per turn you get to roll for it and you can randomly ruin someone's fun. Okay. Once per battle round reaction. Opponent declared a spell or charge ability for a visible enemy with an 18. Pick 1 die from the charging roll. Your opponent must re-roll the die. Potentially very good. And also 18. Both of the... Okay. It's weird that this one just works. And it's way more powerful. And this is the weaker one. It only works on a 5-up. Kind of crazy when you think about it. But I guess this one is once per battle round, which is a longer amount of time than turns. So, hey, all right. And they can just re-roll a 5 into a 5 again. So there is that. The random part of it working isn't whether or not you get to use it. It's what their die roll will be, right? Interesting. Okay, actually very interesting, these two. They could also command point reroll. I don't believe you can re-roll a reroll. I think there's only 1 reroll per ability die or something like that. Which means if they want, they can like re-roll the charge roll and then you can't use this ability. You think you can only choose to reroll once? Oh, good point. Choose to reroll or reroll at all? I guess that would be the question. I'm just thinking about in my head, what are the outcomes here? They succeeded their charge. They succeeded their charge. Then you make them reroll one of them and then they either pass or fail that. Or they fail at their charge, they re-roll it, and now since they've already re-rolled it, you can't use the ability. Ahem, brand new mate. Quote, some rules allow you to re-roll a die roll, which means you get to roll some or all of the dice again. You cannot re-roll a die more than once, and re-roll happen before modifiers to, okay. So it is just no. It seems to stop command re-rolls, because it is reaction. Reaction kind of cuts in there before you get the opportunity, I think, to decide whether to re-roll it or not. Because reaction is the cut in line kind of thing, instead of the active player does everything and then after that non-active player does everything. Okay. Anyway, very interesting. I was ready to shit on this character, but I actually kind of like the combination of these two in a big radii. What else does it do? Irresistible demand. Pick a visible enemy hero within 18 to be the target. D3 mortal damage on each other enemy unit within 3 of the target. So not the target, only the other ones around the target. All right, the spell is horrible, but she's a double wizzy. So double wizard and then 2 really annoying Wind Fury kind of abilities. Nothing on here really helps your army. It just like annoys your opponent a lot. 220 is a lot for just that. Okay, these 2 abilities are interesting and they sound annoying and have a great range, 18 for both of them. But she doesn't actually help your army any. I mean, she is a wizard too, sure. And 220. I don't know. It's something to think about, but I don't know. If your army is just completely 100% finished and you're chilling at 1780, maybe. But stopping your army dying to a hammer because they biff the charge is pretty good. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of good if it happens. Once per battle round, though. Anyway, it's something to maybe think about. I don't know. And now the corpse card. All I'm looking for is the unholy lodestone that it used to have to give +1 to cast, which is why anyone ever took this awful thing. And then there was a version that buffed, like, zombies and dogs, and it fucking sucked. Anyway, 7, 4, 6, okay, 4, pretty slow, but I suppose the things it's supposed to be around are pretty slow too. Unholy lodestone, share the lodestone, it's back. Pick a friendly Dadwalker zombies unit within this unit's combat range to be the target until the start of your next turn. While the target is wholly within 12 of this unit, mindless ferocity inflicts mortal on 5 instead of 6. Oh, okay, so it's the same name, it just does something completely different. Once per turn army, end of any turn, necromantic Gawad. Pick a friendly Deadwalker zombies unit wholly within 12 that and not in combat. And it can just move 3, and it can move into combat. Okay, the guy is good. Hey, if you're trying to play zombies, you probably have to play a corpse card or you're dumb, right? If you're trying to have zombies be a real thing in your army. You know, 5s are back. Make them move 7, essentially. Although it's at the end of the turn, do note. Yeah. So this Soulblight Gravelords update is sort of like, hey, remember when you used to play zombies? What if you had the option of playing zombies again? I'm not going to say they're crazy or anything, but they got most of their old tricks back. And you can try to do that. I appreciate that because especially with zombies. 1 year ago, zombies were really good and a bunch of people bought zombies. And which means that a bunch of people have zombies on their shelves right now. And they were sad that this thing they bought sucks now. And so, you know, let the kids play with their toys, right? Yeah, it's at the end of each turn. I mean, it's not before charges or anything like that, but it's twice per battle round, in other words. Again, not sure about Sakhar. But these two abilities are kind of interesting and have a good range. And she's a double caster. The sub-factions are horrible. The traits are pretty bad, although this thing gives back stuff that zombies specifically lost. I don't think this is like a terrible update. They were like, we need to make zombies not so bad anymore because people used to play them. Here, have all your stuff back. Everybody just got a bunch of new toys, so it's probably fine that zombies are back to almost where they used to be. They're still not. Keep in mind that the kickback mortal thing has to be from a zombie that's in combat range, which makes that ability fair instead of broken. When you could take zombies off the end of your blob 8 inches away, and you just look at 40 zombies, and that means you will take, you know, whatever, 18 mortal wounds or something, no matter what. So as long as they fix that one thing, I think it's safe to give them back all this other stuff. If you're a zombie player or a former zombie player, you're probably like, hey, all right, I don't have to buy stuff. Now my guys are back to 80% power or whatever. If you're anyone else, then this update is literally nothing. So sorry about that. Every SBGL player almost. How much is the new corpse cart? 80 exact. It's plus 10, so 80. Which is still well under 100. It's fine, you know. Moving 40 zombies 3 inches 4 times a turn is an interesting way to ensure back pain. I mean, I don't... I like my movement phases to be moving monster trucks, 5 of them, and making noises, you know. So I basically agree with you. They didn't fix the dragon. No, I was hoping... Okay, my complete and utter copium was we're going to get a generic Velocida back, you know, in War Scroll version for the GHB update. Not so. Yeah, you bring movement trays, which works for exactly 1 turn, and then when they enter combat 1 time, they probably don't work. But they still sometimes can. If they all die right away, you get to pick them up in a big sheet. Yeah, or Dragon that buffed Laukavi, that whole sub-faction thing. Oh, Shaderoot TV, what's up? I mean VT. I keep, in my head, I'm like, man's a Twitch streamer, so his last name probably is TV. But anyway, how you doing? Hope you had a nice stream amount of time since last I saw you. Maybe you're just jaded. Don't worry about it. Turn that frown into a neutral line. That's what I always say. Anyway, I don't know what to grade it. It's good for zombies, but everything else is kind of bad. And they had a... there's so much in the faction of SBGL that it's hard not to get your hopes up for one of the 16 different undead factions they blasted into the same book, right? So... Anyway, I'll give it a F+. No, I'll give it a D- after relative grading on a curve. Obviously an F if it's not graded on a curve, but good shit anyway. And then we got Scourge Gyran. Get ready to sack or save the Realm of Life Spearhead as well. Don't care. Nice on-ramp though. As I learned today, they don't like it when you call it an on-ramp. They don't like it when you say what it is. I don't know. I think it's a good thing. Oh, we got maps. Okay. The Age of Sigmar maps are always unbelievably stupid with the stupidest names. I can't wait. Boil Slick Parenthetical Ruined. Okay. Lake Surf. That's where all my surfs are. Yeah. Healer's Folly. Gushing Grannies, Witter Shits Ruined, the Colostrum. Hey, if you're over the age of 35, go ahead and get yourself a colostrum at the doctor, okay? Oaken Bros seed. Deft Woad. Rot Woad. Okay, double Woads. Green Bay Cloud. Lannister Peaks. The Ambrel Clitora. Who comes up with these names? Thrall Point, Loktar Ogar, The Great Spear, something of Blades. We don't know over here. Something of Blades. Neopet Canal. Packers won the Realm Gate War. Let's go. And then, of course, the Jade Wound. Oh, wait, I forgot. Neos. There's more than one. Once Lush Veldita. The Feeling Siblings. What was that one artist from the Magic card I couldn't believe was real? CJ, it sounded like a Star Wars character pedophile. Siswanto, that was it. That's a real artist, Siswanto. I'm like, Siswanto? Dude, Obi-Wan is interviewing that guy in one of the prequels in prison. I have an old friend, Siswanto. He's in juvie. Anyway, good shitty map. 5 out of 7. Very dumb, just as I have come to expect. Siswanto, Jesus. Anyway, here's all the stuff. You could zoom into these probably and determine some info, but I'm told the thing leaked. I'm not sure. You can get your 6 mouse pads with it this time. He was friends with Ben Quardnara. All this will be on the Age of Sigmar app. Oh, what will be in that? Which is available pre-order. Every faction has received stuff. Yeah, okay. So it tells us that all those things they gave us for free within the book that you pay for. The only thing you're really paying for, because they gave us all of the army rules in here for free, remember? Because that's the news that we've just been reading through, right, for the past month. So really the only thing you're buying the General's Handbook for is the 2 pages of GHB rule cards and then the battle plans. That's really it. We're halfway there. I appreciate the company giving us all the army rules for free. Still, even when General's Handbook comes out, they're like, no, here's most of the info that you want for free still. You just have to pay for 13 pages of it. And then the community is probably like, nah, still nah. But we're halfway to no books and only online indexes, which will be the golden age, hopefully. Reminder, if you have objectives already, poker chips exist. Sure, and a lot of people have their, objective marker, transparent, correctly sized stuff, right? As do I, in a little bag. Damn, Boyle Slick hasn't been the same since the Nurgle weirdos moved in. Typical. Yeah, disgusting. Anyway, good shit, nice news. This was a paratrooping late stream. But I'm in. Delivered the hard-hitting news, just the facts, ma'am. And I'm fucking out of here. Not going to go over the GHB leaks today. I am not, because I want to go over them first. I want to look at them myself. So that, in other words, I don't want it to be a react stream. I want it to be an actually informative stream in any way. So now it's going to be Monday. Monday is the GHB. We go over it. I will have looked at it already, so I can say at least one insightful thing. So on and so forth. So apologies that it'll be late, but Monday GHB stream, and probably, I hesitate to say this, I make a lot of crazy promises, but probably tier list for all of the GHB bonus rule things. See if I can make a tier maker of that. And it's going to be mostly based on hype and vibes because the whole metagame is shifting anyway. And then people who feel that their army didn't get what they deserved can tune in, and then when I put it low, they're going to be like, one of us, true, brother, you know, stuff like that. So, HeyWoah anime VTuber outfit reveal. I mean, here it is. It's right here. I got myself 1 frame of animation. I added it. Sandwich Ogre. I went in the Photoshop, gave him a little mouth there, you know? Yeah. We spare no expense on production value over here. Pretzel dip tier list when? Is there a bad pretzel dip? I mean, I assume you're talking about the soft pretzels. Soft pretzels are the shit, first of all. And I don't know if I've ever seen or heard of a bad pretzel dip. You know, you got nacho cheese, you got some horseradish stuff. I've seen beer cheese. I've seen mustard. I've seen good mustard. I've seen some like honey mustard kind of stuff. That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, you could invent something that you could dip a soft pretzel into that would be gross, like, you know, motor oil, I don't know, mayonnaise, something like that. But for the most part, from any place I've seen actually serve stuff, almost whatever dip they give you is going to be conceivably good. Pulled pork or pulled beef brisket? Brisket. Sorry. Brisket's superior. Pulled pork is delicious. I would never shit talk it. Quite delicious, in fact. But for me, brisket sits a little higher up. A nice glass of hot mayo to go with the pretzel. You know, a nice glass of hot mayo on a hot summer day. Ugh. Who up pulling they pork? He needs kicky outfits. Where is his cat girl outfit? Oh, true. I need a different outfit reveal. Right. I grab the ogre, you know, and we start at the top of the screen. You can see his feet first. Everybody in chat are typing feet, you know. And then there's some like Saudi Arabia insider account that is definitely secretly ran by the manager company of that VTuber that donates 20 subs in a row, you know, in a money laundering scheme to make it seem like more people donate and to get other people to do so. You know the deal. Anyway, and then they go down the list and then they press all of the individual, oh, this is my toggle for this is my toggle for that. And that is the first and last time you will ever see that VTuber use any of those toggles at all. Because in normal use, they're too lazy to click the button or they don't think about it. Although HeyWoah does a decent job at it, I will say. One of my HeyWoah, she pressed the space bar when she jumping. Okay, yeah, you know your judo well. Anyway, get out of here. We're having too much fun, and I was just supposed to head in and head out. Even though I feel like now we're kind of getting into the swing of things, and I'm already dropping the trap door underneath all the hooded, hanged scaffolding. What's that thing called? What's that thing called where you hang people? Gallows. That's it, right? It's the gallows. That's you. The Rancor pit. Yeah, same thing. The Plibster has the best soundboard. Oh, Plibby, yeah. Plibby's good at it. HeyWoah's pretty good at it. But hey, all right, get out of here. Enjoy your Friday video games, whatever you're trying to do. I'll see you Monday, almost certainly, for big content and all that other shit. And then I'll get on a plane and maybe die. And if I don't die, then I'll come back and everything will be just like the good old days. And we can all scam that food company together as a people, as warriors.